What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 249. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, what up?
Brett Murdoch.
There's no way we're catching that lightning in a bottle again.
Oh, we will. And Mr. Brian Manjoma.
Amazon is lit.
Yeah. All right, people. Take two. Brian, man, how's your day been, bro?
My day's been terrible. Last 24 hours has just been the worst. So I woke up last night, to find out that my ultra-wide gaming monitor is just not working. On further inspection, bottom right-hand corner, got it right this time, bottom right-hand corner has some sort of weird fire damage. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? When plastic burns, it goes black and peels back slightly.
Yeah.
It did that. So I'm like, what the hell's happening? So I turn it on. It's just kaput. The bottom half is just lines. That's useless. Top half is showing what the bottom half should be. So it's unusable completely. So I go through LG's website, and there's a section where you can request a repair. So I go through that, and they say, unfortunately, due to this type of product, there is no online request a repair service. You have to phone up this number. So I'm like, okay, that's fair enough. Monitor's 2 years old. I don't know, maybe they have some sort of policy. So I phone up the number. Numbers does not exist. The UK just won't call that number. So I'm like, okay, something's not right here. So I go all the way through the live service, so the live chat thing that they have on websites, go through all that stuff, and basically the guy tells me that I need to send a copy of my receipts, send some pictures of the damage, send pictures of it showing that it's not working, to this email address, and then they'll get back to me. So did that last night. I have no idea how long it will take for them to respond. Could take 2 days, could take 2 months. No idea. So I'm like, okay, cool, fine. Good thing I always keep a old version of what I updated just in case these things happen. So I fall back to my old monitor. So I get that out of the dirt. I put it on the desk. Everything's plugged in, and it turns out I'm forgetting the one important cable, the power cable. I just lost it. I searched the whole house, turned it upside down 3 times, can't find it anywhere at all. So right now my PC is just stuck under the desk. The old monitor has no power cable. The new monitor is on fire, and it's just sat there being useless. It's just the worst. So I've now had to fall back to my Mac. So basically it means that I won't be doing any Warframe.
Not the Mac!
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'd fall back to the Mac. And just before the show started, I had some weird problems because on Mac, everything needs permissions now. So the problem was that Discord did not have the permission to use my mic. So hence I was there like fiddling around, trying to sort it out. I restarted the Mac, restarted Discord, downloaded a new version of the drivers for Astro. Nothing. So I had to go all the way to settings, enable Discord to use the microphone, and then jump all the way back through again. It's just the worst. But on the plus side, I do have Astral Chain, which is the first new game I bought since Pokemon. And Pokemon Let's Go is the first new game I bought since Bloodborne. And that says a lot.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So for your old monitor, all you're missing is the mains.
Yeah. It's one of those weird brick things where it needs to be exactly that one, and it's the brick thing that I'm missing. So the brick thing that goes into the back of it, not the one that plugs into the wall. That part I have. I just don't have the other half.
Because
I just wanted an excuse to say the mains.
It's just a kind of a generic cable.
It's not. It's one specific to this make and model. I tried all of the brick things I had, but nothing.
It has it has a specific AC adapter or something.
Yeah. So, but hey, I have Astral Chain. I'm happy.
There you go. We expect the full Brian review soon here on Throwdown, man.
Maybe Sunday.
Yeah, right? That's true. If you want to ask us, hey, what did you think of Astral Chain? Brian will tell you, man.
Can I interject real quick?
It's just off the chain.
This is off the chain. Interject, motherfucker.
So quick little thing. Since Adam's not here, I'm gonna, it's
the butter game, man.
It's the Daily Adam. What do you call it?
Roast
jab. Yeah, but he's not here, so he's like, he can't defend himself. So
okay.
All the better.
Even better than you can.
Yeah. So I got him. I saw early this morning that Gears of War 5 is coming out 1 day earlier for those who have Game Pass Ultimate.
Oh.
This was news since yesterday. I sent a text to our little group chat, and apparently Adam didn't know. So I'm just gonna say, man, it's just one of those other things, one of those other clues to validate my case. I think there might be some trouble across the Gears land with Adam.
Yeah, man. Yeah, how is it that you knew about Gears news that he didn't? Because
He's in denial.
Yeah, because for you guys that are not in the chat, which is everyone except for like just us in Throwdown, Adam is the one keeping us all in check with fucking news. He always lets us know what's up with everything.
Yeah. Granted, let's just be honest. Like, it's usually like 6 hours later.
It'd be like, hey, they announced Aladdin.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we know about that. Yeah, because it's interesting. Yeah, because he usually, I guess he like looks at that stuff during his lunch break or something, and it's like we've already been up for hours, and some of us, wink, wink, report on news every day. So I know like 90% of the shit he sends us, I'm like, yeah, bro, that's old news. But I don't want to be an asshole about it. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, Adam. Even though I really fucking know,
You found information.
Yeah, man, look good for you. Because Adam's the biggest gamer in his group,
Oh yeah, shit, he might be the biggest gamer in our group.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. Well, he is in terms of playing games. Yes.
More games than most of us.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're on the other side. We're the fucking idiots who don't play games but know all the news. Your boy's been playing some shit though. I'll tell you about that later. We will talk about that.
Oh, we'll definitely talk about that.
Yeah, actually, I got some mini reviews for you people tonight, people. So get ready for that. Anyway, let's get some news, man. First up, damn it, Chris! I put this one in here for Chris. He's not even here.
Can I? Is this in? Can I request a review? Or is this in the show?
Well, it's reviews that I've written this week. This is not a request.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious. I'm just curious, like, because I know Control is about to come out, and
it's been out.
Or Control just came out. That's right. So you can give us your opinion on it now.
Yeah, well, I could have given you. Technically, I could have given you my opinion on Monday, which I did. But I'll give you.
No, written. But I'm saying for the Throwdown.
Yes.
Quit being a jackass about it. For the Throwdown, could you give us a quick rundown of how you felt about Control?
Well, do you want it now or later? Because I'm going to do it either way. Should I do it now or should I do it later?
I'm just saying now or later, just as long as it's in the show.
Yes.
Stay tuned, people. Stay tuned.
Yeah,
don't worry, Brett. I asked the same thing in the chat. I agree.
I will give you the review of that and my little rundown of Ancestors, because that's another game I played, and Oninaki. I played some shit for you people, man. It's crazy. Okay, so anyway, the first story, I had this for Chris, but he's not even here. Fuck. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we can do our best with it.
Yeah. So there's
Carlos, you're on point.
Yeah. Because he actually has experience with these. Okay, so there's going to be a new Resident Evil game called Project Resistance, and it looks like it's a 4-player co-op Resident Evil game. Now, the last time we had a Resident Evil co-op game, not talk about 5, we're talking about, I forgot what the fuck it was called. Outbreak, I think 6. It was. No, I think it was called Outbreak. One of those side games, right? The shit was not good, I remember Chris complaining the fuck out. Yeah, Resident Evil Outbreak, that was the name of it. No, there was another one afterwards. So it was last gen Resident Evil game that was online.
The multiplayer game, which was Umbrella Agents or something
That's
like that.
It. Yeah. So
Umbrella Corps? Umbrella guys?
Yeah, so somebody tell us in the fucking chat. I honestly don't know.
It was something like that, right?
I don't know. But anyway, they're going to be showing this at a TGS. Tokyo Game Show. Next week, so I guess we'll be talking to you about Tokyo Game Show soon, so that's cool. We'll see.
I wonder if Kojima's gonna be there.
Oh yeah, right.
That's the last show he's gonna do before Death Stranding goes gold.
Mm-hmm.
As Adam would say, he better have something.
But yeah, so apparently people are hoping this is like Outbreak. That's a game from the PS2 era from 2003. Yeah. All right. Again, I do that in for Chris, but he's not here, so can't say anything about that.
Funny thing about Outbreak, it was sort of a weird sort of game, co-op and online, but online mode never worked here in the States.
Yeah.
And I mean, should be interesting, but we'll see. It's gonna use the RE engine and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, it is. You know? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, go ahead.
It's gonna be the Capcom engine now, right? That's it.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Mega Man's running off that shit. You know, Monster Hunter. That'd be interesting if it one day runs on that. You know.
That would mean that they'd have to go back to formula, redo everything.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. They're just going to use that empty framework.
Doing that.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's move on here. So Telltale Games is back, kind of. Basically, they got bought out by this other company, and you know they have all the IPs and all that. But here's where things get fucked up. So they're rehiring the old guys as freelancers with the possibility of becoming full-time.
Oh, that's a kick in the dick.
That is fucked up, dude. You know, so I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. You know, go ahead, Brett.
I mean, I guess it's fucked up. At the same time, we can't deny that the company was horribly mismanaged.
Yeah,
and that was primarily its downfall. And I imagine some of that is quality of work that maybe needed to go back and be redone. So, I mean, it sucks to be in that position, but when somebody says, okay, we're reopening the failed company, hiring a bunch of people who used to be there, but we reserve the right to fire the ones that sucked. Like, that isn't necessarily... I want to say it's a dick move. I want to say it's a shitty move, but I understand from that point of view why they might be doing it.
Well, the thing is that it's also them sort of dipping their toe into a situation. A lot of these things, a lot of this stuff is done in animation. They'll hire a staff, a freelance, kind of grow and also let go of staff, in and out on depending on what the project is. Probably going to have a bunch of leads to handle the day-to-day things, sort of thing, and then have a bunch of to fill out the rest of the staff. The way I always what animation shows work on the East Coast as opposed to the West.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. It would sound kind of screw up, especially going from a medical, and all these other things, services. That at the same time, I don't think that this company is probably ready to fully on a full-on Telltale. Keep the team tight, like the way the original studio used to be.
Yeah, they said they're gonna stay small this time around, even though I don't know how big the original one was.
And like when the game hit, blowing out, Telltale Games, what did they do? They did like little games like the Back to the Future game, and they did the Monkey Island games. They did smaller.
Man, you're cutting out there, man. Yeah, bring your shit up. All right, so I'm gonna talk until Manny gets his shit there. But yeah, go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Carlos.
So these guys are just basically contractors until whatever this game's pending to be, like, whenever it's complete. They're pretty much just gonna let them go. That's how I'm looking at things.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that. I was talking to some people on Twitter about this, and they were saying, why don't they try to make some original games? And it's kind of interesting because has Telltale ever made any originals? They must have, but I can't even name one.
Most of their games were licensed games.
All licensed games, yeah. So I'm like, are they gonna? I mean, were you trying to say that all their games just became these big heavy games at the end?
Exactly. Like once they had those that big license with Walking Dead, that's when they started doing nations.
They say that last part. That's when they started doing what?
Started doing more games like The Walking Dead.
Yeah, they had Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, Game of Thrones, Batman. They did a bunch of these big kind of games. If I'm probably Borderlands, they did that too.
But I think the formula kind of wore thin on them.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this, man. Like, I think what they need to do is, they need to actually, I'm going to say, kind of introduce more game in there. Like, if you play Back to the Future, right? There's still adventure game shit in there. You got to click on things. You got to solve puzzles. By the end, all their things were just dialogue choices. That's it. There was almost nothing else. Like, sometimes there were some, like, quick time events where you had to, like, react fast, which is cool. But, like, at least to me, even though I'm not a big adventure game guy like that, to me, adventure games were always about exploring whatever little scene you had, clicking everything, mixing things around, seeing what clicked, remembering, oh, he said that, let me try this, oh shit, that worked. Like, I think they need to refocus on that type of stuff. Pretty much what Wadget Eye, I want to give them a shout out, Wadget Eye Entertainment, they do those really traditional type of adventure games. So it would be kind of cool if Telltale did that and stuff, just like, okay, it like when you're playing the games, they kind of feel like you're just like playing through one of those choose your own adventure books, from when you were a kid. Those were fun, but with a game you want to, use your brain a little bit,
When they started doing those games, the options became less and less.
Yeah.
Around the environment, like I feel like in the first Walking Dead, you were able to pick up more things.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. If you get to the later Walking Dead, it's just like, just pick a dialogue choice, and you're right. Even though things branch out, they all come back to the same point in the end, so it's kind of pointless, I don't know. We'll see about that. It should be interesting, but I don't even know what the hell they're going to call this company. I guess they're going to call it Telltale again. I don't know.
Tell later.
Tell later. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's they're just in a weird situation, and it's curious to see how whatever the hell the remnants of those things will rebound now.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because remember this kind of happened to THQ, and then they came back as THQ Nordic.
Nordic, yeah, but weren't they acquired by someone?
They were, yeah, by Nordic Games.
By Nordic Games.
Yeah. So there you go. And they specifically said they took the name THQ Nordic just to remind people about THQ. Yo,
remember SquareSoft, man? Remember who they're acquired by? I mean,
yeah,
or Enix?
yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, Square acquired Enix.
Yeah,
Square Enix.
That's a merger.
Yeah, that's a merger. Yeah, because they're kind of equal partners, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, we will merge into one. All right. Anyway, let's move on, man. So Yakuza 7 was announced, and what's interesting about this game is, and Carlos, I'm not making this up, it's a turn-based RPG.
Yo, man, weren't we just talking about this shit like a fucking couple of days ago? Excuse me?
Yeah, man. They were paying attention to us, man. Okay,
yeah, man.
Yeah, here's what's interesting about Yakuza 7, right? April Fools this year, I believe, they showed this game as an April Fool's joke. People thought it was fake. Nope, it was real. The game is real.
Yo, man, that's the best April Fool's joke, man.
Yeah, people are like, oh, look at that, turn-based Yakuza, that's pretty funny. And then it's like, oh, no, that's actually a real game.
So you're not playing What's-His-Face anymore.
No, you're not.
Right?
No, you're not playing him. You're playing a new guy. And you're also playing in a new place, Yokohama this time, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, and by the way, this game is dropping, at least in Japan, January of next year, so it's right around the corner. Like, fuck,
So there's no North American release date, right? Or
no, but they said it will come later in 2020. It's coming to America. You don't have to worry about that. These games sell really well in America.
Yeah.
And why they sell well? And I'm just, this is just me speculating. I think it's because they keep their expectations in check, monetarily. They're like Square Enix, like, oh, we need to sell 5 million copies. They're just like, all right, we sell enough, we're good.
Man, these motherfuckers churn out games faster than anybody's business. remasters, new games, remakes. I don't know if remakes, but
Yeah, well, they
man.
are remaking the first. Well, not remakes, but yeah, they're remastering 3, 4, and 5
4
Yakuza.
and 5,
That's dropping
yeah.
in February. Yakuza 3 is actually available now. So, as a standalone. By the way, and they reintroduce all the shit they cut out of it on the PS3 version. So if you want to go to a oh my god, what's the name of the fucking bars with the women? Totally forgetting.
The
blanking.
hostess bars?
Yeah, you go to hostess bars, play mahjong, all that shit.
Mahjong, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting how this game will play, because it looks like it's a Yakuza game, so it's pretty much like there's a formula for how a Yakuza game is structured. It's gonna have a story, it's gonna have like the mini games and the side stories and stuff, and it's gonna have its humor that it always has. And now it's just gonna be turn based. So it's like, when you think about it, I'm like, yeah, the combat is gonna be completely different, but you pretty much know where you're gonna get.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you play Yakuza games, they're RPGs. They're just live action RPGs, but they're RPGs. By the way, I'm looking at this one screenshot, and I saw some footage of it. Like, all the combat looks as crazy as it is in the main game. You don't have to worry about that. But there's this one screenshot, because I'm looking at your party. You got the main dude, got these two kind of rough looking guys, and this chick, and you see her in the background. She's there with like a handbag about to hit this guy. This shit is hilarious, man. It also shows you whose turn is next in the line, kind of like Final Fantasy X did. So that's kind of cool, man. I'm a Yakuza fan, but I'm also a turn-based guy, so I'm very excited about this. One interesting thing: the creator of Yakuza, the guy who looks like a fucking Yakuza, if you've ever seen him, he said if this game sells poorly, they're gonna go back to the normal shit. So I'm like, yo, buy 3 copies of this shit so we can make it a success.
Well, if it's good,
yeah, that's true. It could be fucked up.
Yeah, you never know. It's highly unlikely, because their track record is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a safe bet. If you're gonna get a Yakuza game, you're hyped up. Buy 3 of these, man. Buy one for your kids. Buy one for the cousins.
This is interesting. So in the West,
buy one for Brian.
Yeah. I'll get 5 copies for Brian. It says in the West, the game's going to be called Yakuza Like a Dragon. What's interesting about that is Like a Dragon is the name of the series in Japan, so it's going to be called like a dragon, like a dragon. Kind of weird,
Yeah.
Apparently, the word Yakuza means like a dragon. So like a dragon, like a dragon. Interesting. But no, it doesn't, because the Ryoga Gotoga, or whatever the fuck that shit is, that's like a dragon. So Yakuza, I guess they renamed it Yakuza in the West. Kind of interesting. Hold on, I got to do this shit right, people. Got to pronounce it right,
Yo, man, gotta get our shit straight.
We're
professionals, man.
Yeah, Ryuga Gotoku. There you go. Gotoku. Ryuga Gotoku. Yeah, like a dragon. By the way, Ryu. Like Street Fighter. That means dragon. Or fist. No, Ken is fist. Ryuken. Ryuken.
What is a Kuma again?
Kuma. I don't know what the fuck. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things it means, like wind and fire and heaven, all this other shit. But I don't know how to say that. Goki. There you go. Yeah, Ryuga Gotoku. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm down. Yakuza gave me that shit, man.
Yeah, the thing is, I haven't played all of them.
Yeah,
but we're gonna have access to. I think
all
what,
of them.
Six is on PS4, right?
Yes, it is.
So
is 1, 2, 3 is available now. 4 is gonna be available. 5. You're gonna have all your Yakuzas, man.
Man, we got a marathon Yakuzas.
Yeah, we should, man. It'd be crazy.
Man, it's just gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Anybody else have any thoughts on the Yakuzas? All right, that's me. I'm the most hype. I love Yakuza. I love Yakuza, man. Good shit. To me, that's a spiritual successor of Shenmue. Fuck Shenmue. I got Yakuza. I'm good. All right, so moving on here. This is kind of fun. We should have had Robert Workman on for this one. Okay, so they're gonna re-release an Aladdin / Lion King remaster. Who the fuck is putting this shit out? I don't know who's putting out, but anyway. But here's the big question before the trailer came out. People were like, "Okay, which version of Aladdin is it?" If you guys don't know, back in the day, you had two versions. Actually, this used to happen a lot. Like you have a Sega Genesis version, and they were completely different games, right? Usually is because like the graphics were different or whatever. But this time for Aladdin, it was two different studios that made the game. Capcom made Aladdin for the SNES, and I think it was Virgin and Disney. They made it for the Genesis, right? So people were like, "Yo, which version is this going to be? It's going to be Genesis version or SNES version, right?" There's always a hot debate on that, and I'll tell you my stance in a bit. But it turns out they picked the correct version, the Sega Genesis version, to be on this. You know, that's the one that they actually had Disney animators working on and stuff. You know, so that's pretty fucking cool.
Blaze, if you ever heard of that guy's name, he worked at Disney as the second to on Beauty and the Beast, and you know a bunch of other animated features. He animated a bunch of that stuff for that game.
Oh, really nice. So
Disney animators and everything on that.
All right, so I'm reading this. Where the fuck? Oh, Kotaku. So forgive me. All right. So it says that this is an extent kind. I'm not gonna read this shit. Okay, the different versions of each game can be tweaked with a variety of visual enhancements and customization options, cheat codes, and a rewind feature. Help players make it through the tough spots. All right, $30. And apparently, I read that the Genesis version is going to come with this is funny, a day one patch, because apparently there were some hit detection problems in the original that they want to fix, so that's going to be implemented, you know. 'Cause I know some people, they don't like the controls of the Genesis version. Okay, you guys know I don't replay old games. Aladdin Genesis version is one of the few games I do replay at least once a year, because it's a great game. I don't have a problem with the controls, but I could understand why people may not like them. What's interesting is, you know, I heard, don't confirm this, but I heard that this is also going to have the Super Nintendo version of the game, the one by Shinji Mikami. I can't verify that, but I heard that. That would be interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
Capcom, see.
Yeah, it is Capcom, yeah. So that would be interesting. By the way, Shinji Mikami, he made Aladdin for the SNES. He even said the Genesis version is better. He says because Aladdin has a sword, you know, which is pretty funny.
Like he does in the other one.
What happened, Manny?
Just throwing apples like he did on the Super Nintendo one.
Yeah, because in Genesis he does throw apples too, but he also has a sword, you know. And again, you know, both games are going to be remastered, reworked. Lion King's in there. Here's the thing: Lion King was the same on both versions, obviously. You know, graphically a little different, music different, obviously, but they were the same basic game. Aladdin, you know, on SNES and Genesis, very different, you know. Pretty cool. But if you do get both versions of Aladdin, this isn't 2 games in one, this is 3 games in one, effectively, you know. I'm down with that, you know. Hey, Manny, you had Aladdin, didn't you?
I had Aladdin.
Manny, hello. He doesn't want to speak.
No, he's speaking, but it's not. No, it's not picking up his mic.
Yeah, Brett, did you ever play Aladdin?
Yeah, I played Aladdin. I played Lion King too.
What'd you think?
Did you play Lion King 1?
Hardy har.
Yeah, what'd you think of them?
I played both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they were surprisingly solid platformers, actually, and strikingly hard.
Yes.
At least Lion King was really hard. Yeah, I mean, they were good games. I was at that point when I played them where, like, kind of where, I don't know, every boy, and maybe you guys will be able to back me up on this, at a certain age, you just kind of get this I'm too cool for Disney phase.
Oh, yeah. That happened, you know.
So I was right at the beginning of that when those games came out. So I was like, I mean, it's a good game, but, you know, it's a Disney game.
Yeah, I think I hit that phase right after Aladdin, you know. I was like, I'm too man for Disney, you know. And now everything I consume is from fucking Disney. How funny is that?
No, it's hilarious, and that's one of the main reasons I couldn't get into Kingdom Hearts, and now it's like, now I want to go back to Disney World.
Yeah.
Weird.
Manny, go ahead.
Working?
A little bit. Keep talking. No, I guess not. Oh, man. This is why you do not hear Emilio tonight, people. It's all good. I'm talking more for him.
Maybe somehow the settings changed, Manny, that you changed earlier. I don't know.
Maybe, All right. We'll move on here. No, now, Brett, this story I threw in here specifically for you, sir. WoW Classic. They did you know about this? They re-released WoW Classic Vanilla WoW.
Yeah, I actually did. I was kind of excited about it for a while, and then I realized, like, man, I do not have the time to leap into this. And weirdly enough, like, while I love the idea of WoW Classic, there's not going to be any expansions. So the game is never going to go anywhere. It's never going to evolve. It's not a living game the way a lot of MMOs are. So that, I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. Like, part of me is like, yes, they locked it into the best version before they fucked it up. And another part of me is like, and it's going to remain static like that for all time. So I have mixed feelings.
Yeah.
But overall, yes, it is the best version of WoW. And who have gotten, used to all the easy shit, go back and have to grind through the classic original.
Yeah. I also threw this in here just to give you an excuse to tell us anything you want about WoW. To be honest.
The classic version.
Yeah, man, go ahead. Tell us any stories you want, man, because I don't know if anybody else has played that shit. Yeah, I know you have.
Yeah, played it.
Yeah. Go ahead. You guys talk about WoW.
Oh god, I mean, like, it depends on how far you want to go into it. Like, WoW Classic was, it was the game. That was the other big thing. Is like, it was the game literally everybody was playing, which is why I can kind of understand, the Overwatch kind of deal right now, because, like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna play WoW. Like, whoa, like, yeah, like, what are you gonna do in WoW? Like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna hang around Undercity for a while. I'm gonna sell some shit on Auction House. I'm gonna craft. I'm gonna go do some quests. I'm gonna maybe drop a couple of dungeons, and then every once in a while, I'm like, oh, fucking Saturday night, we're all gonna get together and raid. Like,
Yeah.
it was a time in gaming when there wasn't a lot of social stuff, and it's a highly, highly social game. So it was kind of, it's kind of your Second Life. And that's the reason Second Life is called Second Life. It's trying to capture and emulate that idea of, like, no, it's this whole other world. Like, I have friends in this world. I have, things that I do in this world. I even have, like, almost chores, like, going around and, like, collecting cotton off farming cotton from mages and tearing the robes and shit. Like, it was the most painfully grindy game, like, I've ever played. This is coming from somebody who, like, loves, like, we love Korean games, we love Japanese games, we love, these super hard, intensive, grindy games where you actually have to stop and do 9 side quests or grind out to be a higher level. We like that stuff. I'm playing Black Desert, and everyone's like, oh my god, this is one of the grindiest games ever. I mean, I'm waiting for it to be grindy, but I'm like level 50, and I'm just like, dude, I can't help but, like, I'm just accidentally leveling. I'm too powerful. Everything around me just instantly dies. And I've been over-leveled the entire game so far. Now, yeah, I imagine when it gets to endgame that there will be a lot of grindy stuff, but yeah, there has to be a certain point in which the hill gets steeper. That's kind of part of the fun of it. So, yeah, I guess I've been all over the place, but it was it was a super grindy, super social game that you just spent a lot of time in, and it just became kind of this hobby, and that was great. But you also can't capture that world again. Like, even if you capture the game perfectly, and even if a lot of people play it, you're not really going to capture that level of saturation where, you see, somebody in a Lions t-shirt and go start talking shit at them. Like, dwarves are like, yeah. I don't even know if you can yell that stuff anymore, but like, golly, dwarves are for fags. Like, it wasn't smart. Like, it wasn't intended to be, nobody actually fought, but, like, it was like, rival sports teams. Like, you just kind of gave shit to the other side. I don't think you're going to capture that world again. I really don't. I don't think you're going to see somebody in the mall, because malls don't exist anymore, and see him wearing a Horde shirt and be like, for the Horde. It isn't a thing.
Yeah, kind of sad. Carlos, you have any WoW stories? Specifically the first one?
Yeah, I just remember like one of the main things is like a couple of my friends just told me, "Hey, get this." Oh, what the hell is this? It's like I have to go to the store and buy it. It was like I think it was like a Circuit City or a Best Buy, one of
Oh,
those,
shit.
and it was like on multiple discs and shit, I think. And my friends just like, yeah, it's a pretty cool game, and it's like it's an MMO. It's like, oh, okay, I haven't played an MMO in a while, and yeah, I just remember getting on either I think it was either Xbox Live voice chat or TeamSpeak, one of those, and that's how I chatted with my friends, and we started playing, and it's one of those things where you really like it really takes so many hours from your life. Like you can play for a whole fucking day and not even realize that your day is gone because you're just pretty much trapped into that game. You're in that world and you're like, okay, because it's like Brett mentioned, it's like second like what is it, Second Life or whatever that shit's called.
Yeah, Second Life.
Yeah, so it's like you have you have your different jobs, you have your different quests, you have your different cities where you can go. You can do raids, you can grind in different places, you know. So you get to level up, make sure because I don't know, Brett, was it in Vanilla WoW where you can get the mount, or was it till the expansion?
Oh, you can get basic mounts, but there were no flying mounts in Vanilla WoW. So if you
Yeah.
there was a
Yeah,
lot
for
of
sure.
world PvP. Flying mounts
Yeah.
killed world PvP. Pissed me right the fuck off. How the fuck am I supposed to gank some asshole if he's flying through the air?
Man, I still remember because my first character was undead rogue, so I was part of the horde, and there was a
Yeah.
freaking there's I remember there was this fucking dwarf that was by Undercity. I think it's called Undercity, right, Brett? The main
sir.
the main
Oh,
city
yeah.
for the horde.
Mhm.
There was a fucking gnome or one of those little dudes just fucking killing me every time. He was just getting on my nerves, and he wasn't even supposed to be in that territory. So it's just like, it's it's just funny how like when you're in a server and you're a horde, you're definitely like you feel like sort of a kinship with other hordes because you know you're supposed to go against alliance, and yeah, I still have a lot of memories there for that game, and it's I haven't really played an MMO like that ever again, which is kind of sucks, but eh, that's what happens.
Hey, man, you had your fun, you know?
Yeah, that was part of my high school years, I think. Yeah, 2004 is when it came out, and I played it probably around that time.
The weird thing is, like, we had that. They have, like, Overwatch. And
Yeah.
I'm just constantly astounded by the difference of depth. Like, man, we had a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
world to play in. Like, that's why we played so much. Like, we would just hang out and do this or do that. It was designed to have 7 different things available at any time, so you played all these different games with your friends, and this was kind of like this world that you all inhabited.
And
Yeah, when it's-
now you have Fortnite.
Well, it's like the cool thing about WoW was it's like you got a character, you did everything you could with a character, you got the best weapons, you got all the upgrades, you leveled up to I think the level cap was either 30 or 40 in vanilla WoW. And once you did that, you just started another character. Okay, let me mess with a fucking blood elf or something, or no, I don't know if blood elves were part of the expansion or not.
No, they were an expansion, but dude, I loved when somebody fucked with your alt, and you're like, I'm gonna go get my main.
Oh yeah.
It's like say you're gonna go get your big brother, like you're like level 15, level 25 comes in and starts fucking with you, you're like, motherfucker, I'm gonna go my level 50. I'll be back.
And the cool thing is, like, when you start off with, like, for example, an undead, you start off at a different location that if you were a blood elf. Like, your game starts at a different location.
Yeah, back when they cared enough to make separate locations at intro.
Mm-hmm. That part was pretty cool. And man, I still remember. I was like, it's like a little bit outside of Undercity. You go on the Zeppelin, right next to it, and you're like, it takes you to another fucking continent. You're like, what? Excuse me? That's just crazy. I never fathomed that kind of stuff before.
I mean, the space you couldn't have. And also, it's even like you mentioned the kinship. Like you say, Undercity is the main city. Technically, Orgrimmar was the main city of WoW. But every undead, because I was an undead warlock, every undead called Undercity home. Like, I know a ton of people were like, yeah, fuck Orgrimmar. That place is a fucking shithole.
You like to go to Underland.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's just that experience, man. It's hard to replicate it. I don't think really a game. There's actually a game that I thought was gonna kind of do it, and was fucking what's it called?
Heroes of the Storm.
No, not that. It was a fucking Old Republic game by BioWare.
Oh.
No, the Old Republic.
Yeah, I was so hoping that was going to be the next
online one.
So set up, yeah, dude, they poured so much money and it was so publicized. Like it was set to be possibly the next WoW, and it was really cool. But like that's when the whole
took a while to get to it though.
It did, but here's the problem: they almost did too good a job, because then when people ran out and it went back to like, okay, so here's your regular MMO, they're like, okay, where's our end game? And they're like, well, we just gave you a whole beautiful game. They're like, yeah, but you don't have any more end game content, and that killed the game. And it went free to play. And
was that Star Wars Online or Knights of the Republic online?
It
Star
was
Wars: The Old Republic.
The Old Republic, yeah. Yo, man, I still remember that Old Republic trailer, that first one, where the Jedi and the Sith are going at it.
Oh yeah, that shit was crazy.
Oh damn, yeah,
that was crazy.
Too bad the game doesn't look like that.
You know.
Well, they're making an Old Republic movie.
All right, well, we'll see about that. We will see about that.
We'll see about that.
All right. By the way, well, it's not off topic because we just talked about this last segment. So on the side of the box art for the Lion King, Aladdin, for the Nintendo Switch version, there's a typo in it. The Loin King.
Oh, nice.
Yo, man, you gonna chop up that fucking tiger and shit, serve him up. Oh, somebody already made that meme for the Loin King. The round, sirloin, short loin, rib, chuck, brisket. The fuck, they're chopping up the lion. It's hilarious.
Who's doing this port?
I have no fucking idea. Nighthawk is doing it.
And then who has the rights to produce to Virgin Games? That's the other thing.
I don't know,
Virgin
man.
doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not Virgin. Is Virgin Games even around?
Virgin hasn't made games in years.
Yeah.
They closed down
They didn't get the rights, and maybe this is just a bamboozle.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's coming out on every system. It's not a bamboozle,
No, it's just like it's like getting a Roback Swatch.
Okay.
It's really just this cheap Chinese knockoff.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, no, it's the Loin King. You never seen the Loin King?
Yeah, the Loin King. You mean like Sony and shit? Sony TVs.
Yeah.
Kobe. That's the brand.
Kobe. Yeah.
Remember that shit? They always had that shit at Liquidators. Kobe TVs, like cheap ass shit.
Yeah.
Always break on you the next day. Kobe. All right, man. Let's move on. Where the fuck are we?
Kobe.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, I threw this at the ass end of the show because it's a controversial topic, people. We got to talk about it. And Brett, I'm gonna let you talk about it because you're a little bit more, you know how to say shit more sensitively than some of us here, man. Have you kept up with the Cyberpunk news, man?
Oh god, no, I haven't.
Oh shit. I'm just gonna read it.
What's about to happen?
I'm gonna just read it and let you guys decide. Look, I got the wrong link in there. Anyway, Cyberpunk 2077. This is from the producer's mouth. For the sake of inclusiveness, they will not have any binary options for gender. They said it's modular, mix and match. You have a female body with a man's, voice, maybe private parts. You can do all this stuff, Kind of interesting that they don't have a binary option. Don't quote me on this. Rumor is that they will, but they haven't announced that yet. So I want to get your take on that.
I mean, I don't have an issue with this, because the world of Cyberpunk is kind of like that, where it's like you can sort of mix and match and do all kinds of stuff like that. so you could kind of make whatever you want. I mean, I don't have much of an issue with that.
I mean, you can't see the character, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
That's a good
Exactly.
point.
Exactly. You're just seeing a pair of fucking hands. Who gives a shit about what you look like?
I put the correct link in there, guys. Yeah, it says Cyberpunk 2077 will not use a binary gender category for its player-created protagonist, as revealed in an interview with Metro Game Central. And I read that off of Video Gamer.
Okay, that's that statement needs. I don't think this is a waving the flag of saying people we're giving people non-binary choices in a video game. What they're just saying, like, you can just put whatever parts you want together.
Yeah, they said it's modular.
Which, if you hadn't shined a light on it, is honestly my preferred way to do things. And the fact that somebody asked them, and this is kind of more of a response, I'm actually I'm almost kind of happy about it, because yeah, in a game like, this is weird because to any kid of the '80s, you'd be like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Like we went back and watched like Rocko's Modern Life, me and a buddy, and we had a big conversation about like none of this stuff really mattered back then. And I'm not talking about the new Rocko's Modern Life; that's a whole different discussion. But like none of this stuff really mattered. None of this stuff really felt out of place back in the '90s. Like it wasn't a big deal. If you wanted to be, have like this, this male protagonist that wears a sundress and a big red wig everywhere, like, okay, cool. Like that's an interesting take. Tell me more. It wasn't this big thing, and I don't think it's until everybody started infighting, getting pissy, and getting upset about every little thing, that it became a thing. Like I feel like we've walked ourselves backwards somehow by trying to focus on how special every little person was. Whereas back in the day, we just kind of went like, okay, that's interesting. Let's move on. So like, I think this kind of thing is just it hits in my blind spot, because I'm like, of course, that makes absolute sense. Like, sure. Like the only difference I would make is you kind of have to have somewhere in there, whether you're leaning more masculine or feminine in terms of like bone structure and body shape. Like, if you want to have sliders for like every little thing, like that's fine. But like, if you're going to then make people sculpt boobs if they want boobs, and it'd really just be better to have a slider of say like boobs, yes, no, like female waist, yes, no, and like you could do that in a modular way. But going off of a binary base is a little bit easier.
That's what's going to happen. They're just going to give you, like, you could choose one or the other, and then you can slide it. I'm guessing you could slide it into either the way. And to be honest, I also feel like even the character creator is not going to even be that, like, extensive. No. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be that crazy.
No, binary is just a fancy trigger word, whatever. Like, binary is just their way of saying two choices. That's what it means. Two choices. And even when we're talking about gender and everything like that, like at the end of the day, there are still it is kind of binary.
Well, the one thing I think it leaves it open for, and I don't know how their character creator is, but obviously there's in our world there are females that lean a little more male-ish looking. There are males that look very feminine sort of looking. So now you can kind of create. Well, I mean, I don't know how it creates it, but if it is that nearly that extensive, but it does allow you to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, but see, that's the thing. Like, as an artist, and this, I want to be very careful in saying this kind of stuff. As an artist, you recognize there's kind of like masculine and feminine. And they're not exclusive. It's almost like you have a slider between them. Like, okay, so I want to draw a jaw. Do I want it masculine? Do I want it feminine? Do I want it somewhere in between? And that's the part that should be underlined.
Exactly.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah,
like you have a million choices in that spectrum, but it is a spectrum that goes from masculine to feminine. And in that place is where a lot of people, that's where a lot of the fights happen. And a lot of people just don't understand because they're communicating wrong. just because you have binary kind of bookends doesn't mean that it's a choice or that you're being exclusionary, right? Like all that they're saying is that they're not going to have a hard set choice where you pick guy, girl. Like it may be a slider that you can kind of slide back and forth, or modular, mix and match, or anything like that. I think that's perfectly normal and perfectly acceptable. And a really good way to go about it is just give people choices to do what they want to do. So yeah, I'm trying to speak as an artist here in terms of like creating a character, because that's essentially what you're doing when you're creating a character is art stuff. I am not speaking on gender or the public or anything like that.
Yeah.
My opinion does not represent the Throwdown or anything like that. Personally, I think it's all just a spectrum. Just do whatever you want. You can have whatever bits you want, and wear whatever thing you want.
And that perfectly is in line with the world of Cyberpunk and the world of RPG. You know, the paper and pencil RPGs. You could be anything you want to be, whatever your imagination is, right? So, I mean, to be honest, I'm just thinking that that's just their way of reflecting that, right?
Well, they didn't say that specifically, but that's what a lot of people are saying. That it's like, hey, it's a cyberpunk world. This makes sense. The producer didn't say that, but that's what people are saying. You know.
Well, yeah, he didn't say that, but I'm thinking that's the line of thought in it too, where it's like you're just like, all right, you know, again, we're in a cyberpunk world. You can literally have any single part put onto a person that they want if they have the money.
Yeah, I mean, you know, kind of goes to the show. You can have whatever show you want. The interesting thing I find here, so here's the big interesting thing I'm finding here, is that there seems to be a lot of throwing gender politics into something that there is clearly no gender politics in. Like, there's not a story here. The story here isn't that they did this non-binary thing and that they're waving a flag about it. The story here is that somebody is asking them about their gender choices in a character creator, and they're saying, "Oh, we're just letting you know. We're just letting them do whatever they want to do. We're not really locking anything to any certain gender," which is kind of the way that should be done. And people are making a big fuss about that. Like, first of all, why are we going so far to try and figure out and sniff out if there could be any sort of gender politics in a game that hasn't even come out yet?
It's because they specifically said, Brett, they specifically said, we're doing this for diversity. They specifically said that. That's why people are upset. I think if they didn't bring that word in there, I think people would not have been triggered, to be honest.
But again, like, in terms of doing it for diversity, all that is that people need to learn to listen to these things and break them down from some of the language. All it means is they don't want to exclude anybody. So, we don't want to exclude anybody, we don't want to piss anybody off, so we're just going to let you do whatever you want. That's literally what they're saying, and they're trying to say it's just fancied up. But, I mean, and generally speaking, like, I don't like it when people kowtow towards, you know, certain influences in any way. When you see people's politics in movies being presented and stuff like that, like, I don't like that in any way. So I don't think art and personal politics really have a place together. That being said, this doesn't actually affect the. So,
well, I mean,
people are pissed off.
But personal politics and art have been going together for fucking ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's just. Like some people are more subtle about the politics, some aren't. Like I guess that's what irks people the most, when people aren't subtle about the ways they perceive the world. You know.
I think the way the problem, one of the things that I find it's not an issue, but I think it's a thing that's a little weird. It's everybody needs to put a pinpoint in everything that they do. Like, in other words, as opposed to just doing it, right? And just putting it out there. Everybody has to stick a little thing like, oh, we're trying to do this. Oh, we're trying to do that. Rather than just letting it sit there and exist and people enjoy it. People need to be told that these things are in there, which is a little bit odd to me these days. Like people,
really is.
it feels like people want to be pandered to, even though, it's weird, like, or told that they're being pandered to, as opposed to just being boom, put it out there, and then somebody going, oh hey, look what these guys did. You know what I mean? It's a little odd because it's like I feel like in certain stories, things that are very obviously political, but they put these things inside of these stories, from years ago. Obviously, they're sort of politically charged, but at the same time, they're under the guise of being a sci-fi or a fantasy or something that's going on.
Well, and we suffer because of it, man. Like, the thing that pisses me off, and I'm going to go off on a bit of a fucking rant here, the thing that pisses me off is everybody wants a nod towards the fucking obvious, right? Like, they want to
I agree. I don't think why should we need to be told that something is in there? Why can't we just figure these things out? If we're playing an RPG, right, what is the first thing you're going to try to do? You're going to try to move the sliders, you're going to try to do all kinds of stuff. Sit there and actually do it. You know what I mean?
Like,
Yeah.
Like, at least for me. But I mean, like, if Tony's playing, he'll just be like, okay, I'm playing the person on the box. But at the same time, it's like, why do people need to be told that these things are there when why don't you just put it out there? But again, it's like we have, for some reason, people need to have a pinpoint thrown into something specifically to let them know that it's there, as opposed to playing the game or reading the book and finding out for themselves.
It's because we've been starved from critical thought. I mean, when I was playing Black Desert, like, you don't really have a choice to edit the class, like, or the race, right? So I was like, okay, so I'm stuck being human, but I can make myself like a weird shade of purple, and I can like kind of like change the facial features, and I can make my ears tall and pointy, and like, oh look, I suddenly look like a dark elf. Like, I made a fucking drow, and that was awesome. I see other people with, like, some people making custom characters, but most people play normal. Like, so your options are in there. The thing that bothers me is when people need pandered to, what they're literally saying is, like, you need to connect it to this thing in my life, right? So, like, I'm going to simplify this oversimplify this, but, like, let's say Tony just had a birthday, right? And I want to see some sort of reference to Tony's birthday in the new Marvel movie, because everybody should know about that, and that's important to me, and blah. So they can't just have, like, a scene in the Avengers where you see, like, Tony blowing out some candles in the background while they're, like, talking over some main dialogue shit. Like, you get really pissed, and so instead they have to ham-fist it in there where Iron Man's walking by and stops and says, hey, happy birthday, buddy, right? And so you have to have that, like, you have to be fucking pandered to, and you have to be leaned in so we're insisting on being spoon-fed. And the problem with that is the idea in art is supposed to be thematic, right? Like, you're not supposed to talk about the person in power. You're supposed to talk about authoritarianism. You're supposed to talk about nationalism. You're supposed to talk about all of these ideas that, when extrapolated to their greatest extent, show the inherent foibles inside of them. You're supposed to educate and teach by testing ideas. That's what the human brain does. That's what philosophy does, is we can take an idea and build upon it so that we can see its flaws without actually having to enact it and just figure them out by running into them. That's the beauty of how the fucking imagination works and how the human brain works, right? So we need to, in my opinion, get back to the point where we're dealing with thematics. But the problem is we've dumbed down art so much that, and this is like the fucking straw that broke the camel's back. Like, we've dumbed down art so much that you can't even reference things in movies. You have to reference things in movies and then tell the audience that you're referencing them so that they don't miss them. So that if they're looking down at their fucking bag of Doritos or whatever the fuck is going on, that if somebody says, oh, like, oh, it's Tony's birthday, look up and like, They made a Tony's birthday reference and then shove some more peanut butter popcorn in their fucking mouth. I don't know. I don't know.
I think also.
No, hold on, I got to jump in because that shit is. It's like, yeah, it's like, okay, because they know motherfuckers are, watch at home on their phones, on Twitter and shit. Like, okay, catch their attention, make an obvious reference right now, and they probably do that shit scientifically too. It's like, all right, we gotta have references every 5 minutes just so they know what the fuck's going on.
They do, and we have to pander to our audience, and the problem is our audience is fucking stupid.
Yes.
Stop being stupid so we can get better material.
Wow.
Not you guys in particular, but just like not our. Hey, I'm challenging our audience right now. All right, we bring the heat. All right?
I'm about to go.
We're doing our
Brett,
job.
I'm about to fly over there and buy you the biggest pizza right now, son. You're speaking that truth, man. People are
you gotta
fucking
bring the
idiots.
pizza from New York.
Oh, of course, Brett. I got to hook you up, man.
Yeah, sure.
But here's the thing. No, you're right about it. Think about it. Because I'm just gonna say it. It's because everything has to be so fucking commercialized. You need to dumb it down for people. That's what's going on here. Nobody makes art anymore. People make products. Hold on, let me back up because I think I said this on Throwdown, but I said it again because it's still something I'm gonna talk about my friend Jeffrey, right? Hang out with him all the time. He said this one thing that was so fucking poignant. It stuck with me ever since he said it. Okay, back in the day, the idea for writers was they want to write the great American novel, right? What does that mean? The great American novel is not really a literal thing. It's more like you want to create a great work of art that lasts through the ages, right? That was the idea of the great American novel, right? This is what Jeffrey said. Like, we don't have that idea anymore. Now we have, I want to create the next great American franchise. And that's what's going on. People just want to make, hey, I want to make this so I can make a movie, I can make a book, I can make a comic, I can sell a fucking video game, tortilla chips, all that shit. Nobody gives a fuck about art anymore. It's just about making money now. And I'm saying this as a capitalist. Like, it's fucked up. Art is dead. It's crazy.
Well, I don't think...
You see it now. Movies are fucked up. Comics are fucked. Everything. Video games suck. Everything sucks now.
I don't think.
And I know I'm speaking just for myself here, but like, it is very hard for me to get excited about things anymore because everything's just so fucking trash. It's sad what's happening.
The thing is that you also the thing is that maybe looking at the surface is not the place that you should be looking.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. Like, you gotta dig fucking deep now. But like all the surface stuff, like.
But you see all the surface stuff. But the surface stuff is as big as it could possibly get, right? AAA, $1 million movies, all that stuff. But now because things are so easy to create, right? People can make a pretty decent damn movie in their fucking house.
Yeah, name 5 of those.
But,
exactly, man.
People have that sort of ability. There's more there's more content on the market that probably wouldn't get there because of how easy it is to do these things now. And I think that's the thing. Everybody's expecting the surface to speak for them, which it is not.
Yeah, that's a problem.
The surface is only speaking for the money. So they're going to do whatever they are going to do to get you to sit down in that seat, which means making stupid references and pointing that button, pointing straight at you and saying it's for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Because
it's sad
because that's how they sell.
I mean, it's problem too, and I'm sure.
Brett, you're cutting out, bro. Just get closer to your mic.
Okay.
Take it from the guy who's worked in entertainment for almost 20 years now.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I know how it all works.
Dude, I deal with it every day, and not in a very different way from Manny, but I deal with it in a very different way in the sense that I deal with tattoos. Everybody wants to say something with their tattoos, and they're terrified of subtlety. Right? Like, they're terrified of, like, oh, well, what if somebody doesn't get this? What if somebody doesn't get this? Like, that's the beauty.
If somebody doesn't get it.
Well, dude, that's the beauty of depth. That's the, like, I'm sure as a creative, like, you've had to make decisions like, okay, so do I make this super obvious and just show it to everybody, or do I leave it there as kind of like a cool little Easter egg? Like,
well,
and I know.
I've made a career of doing subtle things within the work that I've done. But I don't need to tell anybody that it's there.
Because you trust your audience, right?
I trust the people out there, and if they find it, they do. If they don't, they don't. And that's the key. I'm not looking for people to go, hey, look, hey, I'm not looking to, pull up a sign and be like, hey, looky here, look at what I did. No, I'm not going to, I'm looking for that. If you do find it, you find it. If you don't, you don't. And that's the way it should be.
That's the fun of looking for it, and that's the problem. By dumbing
Exactly.
it down and taking out that, you don't,
It's
there's nothing to...
it's like telling everybody where Waldo is.
Yeah, exactly.
When you literally can do the work and find Waldo yourself, as opposed to literally having a thing on the corner saying, hey, Waldo is down right next to the guy with the hat on.
They've all turned to that guy at the party that explains the joke.
Yeah.
By the way, that was a joke on The Simpsons. Like, you got a new Waldo book, you open it, Waldo's literally right there on the front, the splash page. Like, damn, bro, you're not even trying anymore. You're just there, And anyway, go ahead, Brett. Keep going.
Oh, I was just saying that, like, the movies themselves have kind of turned into that guy who tells you a joke while explaining the joke. You ever run into that guy?
Yes.
It was like, all right, okay, let me make sure that you got this bit. Like, okay, so he walked into the bar, right? But he walked into the bar in a trench coat. You want to remember the trench coat bit, right? And then later, oh, God, that fucking guy. Just so that he can loop back and be like, okay, so then it's funny because, like, there was a guy should have been wearing a trench coat. It's like, well, okay, so a horse walks into the bar, and the bartender says, why the long face? Which is funny because, like, first of all, horses don't belong in bars, right? And, like, secondly, like, a horse doesn't even drink alcohol, and where would it get money? And third, but here's the funny part, like, by long face, he meant, like, a horse is, like, a longer face than a person. So it meant, like, long face, like, why is sad? Because people used to go into bars when they were sad, right? So, like, like, drink their troubles away, like, that whole kind of thing. So he's, like, saying, like, hey, why the long face? Because the horse is, like, a long face, like, as literally as a horse, and also the horse is probably there to drink because he was sad, because that's where you go. I mean, that makes the joke so much funnier, doesn't it? Like, that's fucking what we've turned into, and just like now, it takes 3 times as long to get through something fundamentally unimportant. So we get 30 to 60% more goddamn filler. Like, we don't have movies that even move anymore. Plots are so slow. That's why we have a trilogy of everything. Because we can't put it all in one goddamn movie anymore.
Also, a trilogy makes 3 movies make more
money. Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, it's sad that our society has kind of turned into that thing where everybody has to be told exactly what everything is. Not to throw Death Stranding in there.
Keep it real.
Kojima has said that stuff where it's like, how come I need to tell you exactly what this thing is about?
Yeah, because everybody's like, what is this game about? What is this game about? I'm like, play the game. You'll find out about it when you play the game. Remember back in the day, we used to play shit or read shit to find out about it?
Exactly. So, okay, what is in there that, obviously, I guess the main attractive feature of this game is that, yes, it's a Kojima name on it. Okay, so now what do we, what are we going to be doing? I don't know. That's part of the fun, to be honest, the mystery.
Oh, I have this whole thing wrapped up into a test.
Uh-oh, who tested?
Who is the strongest female in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I'm not answering this question. You trying to rope me, son.
I am trying to rope you.
I'm not answering.
But not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I'm just proving a point.
I'm not saying shit.
Okay.
She-Hulk.
Well, in the
Marvel
universe?
Cinematic Universe, Manny.
Oh, Cinematic Universe. Scarlet Witch?
And see, yes, because you're a comic book fan. Here's the thing. 90% of people are going to tell you Captain Marvel, right? Because of the presentation of the last movie.
Yeah.
But if you actually watch it and you know the characters, Scarlet Witch beat the fucking brakes off of Thanos.
Yes.
She was about to wreck his ass, but she wasn't put on the pedestal.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. Yeah, like
Captain Marvel was put on the pedestal, and so Captain Marvel's the easy answer. So,
okay, yeah.
Man, stop cutting them off, man. Fuck.
No, go. Keep going.
I was just saying that, like, Captain Marvel's the easy answer. Captain Marvel's the one literally held up to show you as an example of female power, but that's right after Scarlet Witch, like, just about snapped that motherfucker in half. She almost baned his ass. So, like, I find it very interesting because if you talk a lot of the people, they'll be like, "Oh, dude, Captain Marvel's like the strongest person in the universe." Like, seriously? She got whooped by Thanos and couldn't necessarily just whoop Thanos. Scarlet Witch just got angry at him.
That's a
You
fact.
ruined.
Well, and also
everything.
Scarlet Witch, if can create a whole universe.
Yeah, well, we don't know if she can do that in the MCU.
Well,
but yeah.
that if we're talking about those new things,
Uh-oh.
that's kind of where they're going.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
she's going to be in that Doctor
one-
Strange movie.
But
So.
we're going down the rabbit hole right now, so let's
We're going down the rabbit hole.
go
Yeah,
back to gaming. Go back to gaming.
Cyberpunk. I'd say perfectly fine. I think that's fine. What they're doing, it makes sense for the game. Whatever.
Yeah. All right, man. So
I wanna
what's
know
up? Uh-oh.
I actually
Is,
didn't get
is-
to say anything this whole time.
Is your character
Yeah.
is your character going to be a silent protagonist? They actually have a voice in this one, right?
I don't know.
Cyberpunk?
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, I should say this is my opinion. And you guys have heard this on Throwdown. I've never cared for this game, so I don't care about this controversy. Whatever. Anyway, Brian, your thoughts, man. Go ahead,
Okay.
Brian.
So, I think it's quite funny that. Okay, first of all, 1, 2, the bodies, that's fine. I don't really care.
Mhm.
But the thing is, they're still going to have a male and female voice option, right?
Mm-hmm.
So does that kind of defeat the whole purpose?
I think people were asking like, how are you going to be addressed by other characters? Like, are you going to be addressed as a woman or a man, or is everybody's just going to call you they?
Like-
You know?
Like, if you're not a silent protagonist, then you're going to have a voice, right? And hence there'll be like female voice 1, female voice 2, 3, 4, and then male voice 1, 2, 3, 4. So hence, all you've kind of done is just shifted from character creation being the binary choice to voice being binary choice. And at the end of the day, it's still given the binary choice of male or female. It just depends on how you look. So in a sense, they've kind of not really done anything inclusive. They just kind of just like hid this thing underneath the fact that, hey, the body creator is inclusive, but yet the voices aren't. So it might have haven't really done
can a
much.
voice really
Yeah.
be
It's
inclusive?
kind of like done the outside and made people be quiet, and that's it.
Can a voice be inclusive though? I mean, that's a hard one.
I mean,
And
you
you
have
can
female voice and male voice. So hence,
you can have a female voice, but you can kind of have a heavier female voice, which maybe would be considered more masculine. I don't know.
I mean, lots of video games have lots of voice options, but not the fully voiced ones like this. And yeah, like we're I hate to be that guy that uses that argument, but where's the line? Like where's my Hispanic voice, or where's my
Remember
man.
remember
I'm
Saints Row
right
had
here,
a
Brett.
Yeah, right.
Remember-
Have Carlos talking. You know.
Remember Saints Row had a bunch of voice options. Remember you had it was like one was Nolan North.
Yeah.
It was just called Nolan North.
I
And
by
then
the
they had a
way,
bunch of
yeah. No, I was
Okay.
going to say we should bring up the fact that Saints Row, starting with 2, had all these kind of modular options with characters.
Yes.
So it's not anything new, you know. And
You
that
could
was a
literally-
third-person game.
you could literally go into the shop,
yeah, I
and
just
change
think the whole
yourself
thing
into a woman,
Yeah.
like on the fly.
Go ahead, Brian.
I'm just finding the whole thing just really, really daft. I'm finding the whole comments around the situation just really, really daft. Because now we're getting the same people that complained about there being how to put this
Uh-oh.
lightly.
Uh-oh.
There was that one poster that people got really annoyed at. Those same people are now really happy now, and are now turning around and saying like, "Oh, do you see how this game made this choice that made people bad?" I'm like, dude, 2 months ago that was you. You know, the same game made you mad, and now you're like trying to like lord over now that the other people are now mad at a thing that the game did. It's like you're literally the same stupid as they are. So like, well done.
Oh, shit. That's
Yeah,
a good
I'm-
point. That's a great
Well,
point,
Brian,
yeah.
You daft cat, man. That's a British reference. I got Brian got
I
it.
like that.
Yeah, no, by the way,
Yeah,
just to, because, going back to the whole subject of you got to put shit on people's noses or whatever. Yeah, people were very upset over a specific poster within Cyberpunk. Now, those same people are praising this choice. That is interesting, isn't it? Like, hey, were you mad at the game or are you hating the game? Hey, what day is it?
Like, it's the way.
You
It's
know?
just like the waves. It's like reaction to Cyberpunk is like like a tide. It comes in, it comes out. Some 1 minute every single person, all these people hate it. Then the next minute people love it. Just let the game fucking come out and play the goddamn thing.
Yeah, how about that? Make up your own mind. Man.
Then what you're saying is that emotions go in, emotions go out.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think people's emotions are binary in this fucking game. They're mad or happy, Who the fuck is the Adam coming in here where we're fucking finishing and shit?
What do you mean? We still got 14 more hours.
This ain't WrestleCast, motherfucker.
Yo, you got Pac-Man. I got Ninja Turtle. What do you got?
Wait,
whoa.
Who is this guy?
Wow. First of all, nice haircut. Second of all, what did you get rid of the crane thing that held your mic?
It broke.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, did you stop using it, or maybe just the camera isn't?
I stopped using it. Do you hear me? Can you hear me?
Well, yeah, very low. It's not gonna sound good in the audio, bro.
Yeah, because it's not that close to you. You see.
Well,
ain't up on that.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, get on that shit, man. Well, he's got to fix it. Anyway, I think that's our thoughts on Cyberpunk. Unless Brian, you want to say anything else?
Well, I just want to.
What happened? I'm still buying the game. Like, I like the idea, and I'm buying the game. It's a cool idea.
There you go.
Whatever. I'm just annoyed that they don't have attack helicopters as a choice.
Oh shit! Brian's gonna get us in trouble, man.
But seriously though, where's my choice to play as a overweight lesbian in a wheelchair? It's not that inclusive, people. Not that inclusive.
Bram brings up a really good point that I was wondering about earlier. Like, at a certain point, okay, if you're asking it to play yourself, that's what. Let's start on the other side. If you're playing a character, then you're playing a character. Whatever, who cares? If you're trying to play yourself, or trying to make a character that is so specific that it is like an overweight black lesbian in a wheelchair, at what point does the onus fall on you to, I don't know, maybe use your imagination? Just in any form of entertainment or anything like that, be like, man, I really wish this character was blah 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 and blah blah. Like, if it's super, I can't be like, man, I'm really upset because I feel like there's not enough characters that are 6'1" with a mohawk and 155 pounds with brown eyes.
Yeah, it gets kind of silly.
I feel like a lot of times when people when we're talking about customization, a lot of people don't actually take advantage of the customization. Sometimes there are people that get really creative, and then sometimes people are just like, all right, I'm gonna go play.
No one.
More about the accessories they kind of toss on themselves, and not really about the actual creation of the character.
That's a strikingly sad reflection of real life.
Yeah. Come on, if you think about it, all these different groupings of people, right? Punks, you think of heavy metal guys, you think of people into rap, you think of hip hop. Everybody says they're an individual, but yet they all dress alike. Right?
That's true.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
I'm an individual. And you're wearing a black T-shirt with a metal band on it. I don't know. What would you say? You like heavy metal? It's kind of like...
Keep making fun of me, man. Keep making fun of me.
You listen to Skinny Puppy, you cover yourself in mud all the damn time.
Oh man! All right, let's move on, man. Adam, since you're here, you could finish us off with what games have you been playing? No, you gotta put that shit right in your mouth, son.
Do you hear me now?
I mean, we hear you, but not as good as everybody else. I'm gonna have to turn your ass up.
The what are those things? They can't hear you. The people listening to us on SoundCloud can't hear you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because people.
It's lower now.
It's a little better, but you're gonna have to fix this shit for the next.
You sound like a voice from the past.
Oh shit! Voice.
You are. Imagine we're talking to you from the past.
Well, it is 1984. So.
All right, that's as good as it's gonna get, I guess. So, Adam, what have you been playing lately, sir?
What have I been playing? Man of Medan, playing that.
That's out.
I don't think he could tell us about it yet.
Well, I could say that I've been playing. The review comes out tomorrow, but I've been playing it. The guys who did Until Dawn, Supermassive Games. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So,
Embargo, baby.
There you go. What else? I've been playing Streets of Rage 2.
Oh shit!
That's from the Sega Genesis collection that they had up. So, playing some of that. I still think Final Fight's better when it comes to those type of games, the beat 'em ups.
I like Final Fight better too.
Yeah,
I do like Final Fight.
I like Streets of Rage too. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'm a Final Fight guy, man.
Yeah,
Final Fight guy.
But I do like the music better in Final Fight.
Yeah, although
I mean, not Final Fight. Streets of Rage.
It's got some techno beat.
Yeah, man.
Granted, it sounds like the '90s because that's 90s club techno music. You know.
Still playing more Contra.
All right.
Still doing that. Yeah, I still playing the Contra. I like that Contra collection because there's some that I've never played, like those Robotech versions. I'm like, what the hell is this shit?
Well,
Robotech.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those other two.
Pro Protector is a funny story because in Germany, they do not allow any sort of violence against any human characters.
Interesting.
The reason all of Europe was turned into all the Contras were turned into robots because they can show that. And it's all Germany's fault, really.
It's all their fault.
Damn you, Germany.
Because
always
Germany
starting trouble.
Germany has very strict rules about violence. even to this day, they kind of, if you ever see any sort of like games like remember the Wolfenstein games over there, they took out a bunch of the Nazi propaganda and all that other stuff.
I'm surprised those games even came out over there.
They had there's that too. But yeah, well, that's what they did. They changed all the Nazi stuff into something else because they have very strict rules on the portrayal of that and in any sort of entertainment. So yeah, so Pro Protector is literally the same game, just with changed out sprites to look like robots. Even for Contra Hardcore, the game that has like a robot, like a werewolf, and like this one dude and this lady, they turned the werewolf even robot into a robot too.
Oh wow.
I just find it funny how Manny, you're talking but we can't hear you.
I'm not talking right now.
I heard
No. I was looking at the stream and not at the actual chat, and I saw Manny's mouth moving.
It's like, man, he's been good now, man.
I'm good, son.
So, anyways, my bad. So, like, I just find it funny how like the Germans like try everything to like, it's like they try to apologize for everything, and the Japanese are like the complete opposite of them.
You know.
So it's just pretty interesting. Let's just get to the main topic here. Adam.
Oh shit! Yes, I know. Oh, it's coming.
I had to break you in on Gears news. Excuse me.
That's it. I had family in town. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I saw that and I was happy. But I'm a little nervous.
Oh, good.
I started biting this finger. Because that's like a week away. Mm-hmm. And we really haven't seen, like they said, all the stuff at Gamescom. Okay, we got to see stuff, but not enough. And I'm like, all right, we still got some weeks, more stuff trickling. Nothing coming out. And then they push it up. I'm getting nervous.
Hold on. Carlos is, he just saw something.
I'm getting nervous. But then again, I'm like, well, if they weren't sure that this is going to be a surefire hit, why push it up? Why do that? Unless they're like, you know what? Let's just take the blow now. Let's get it out of the way. Because what else comes out that same week that is supposed to come out? Do you know?
Iceborne.
Yeah, that's Iceborne. That's all I know about.
That's it, right? There's nothing big.
Yeah, and that's a DLC, you know?
Iceborne's pretty big for a DLC, though. And
damn, Adam, man. See, this is the shit we've been telling you, son.
No. We didn't know they were gonna push it early. First, Gamescom said, "All right, we're gonna show some stuff." They did. They showed multiplayer, showed Horde, they showed the story mode. They put 9 Inch Nails into one of their trailers and stuff. Like, okay, this is great. But I thought we were going to get some more stuff after that, and then we didn't. And then they announced, "Oh yeah, now as you see, we're getting this pre-play, September 5th, which is like a week earlier, and that's for people that have the Ultimate Pass and stuff." And I'm like, "All right, that's good," and that's weird though.
Well, I mean, the game is coming out on the 10th, and Ultimate Game Pass was going to go 4 days earlier. But they just moved it even another day, like forward another day. I don't know, back or forward. I don't know.
Well, back for the goodie, for the extra stuff. I don't know, something. I don't know. This I hope it lives up to what my expectations.
Hey, me too, man. But I mean, I've been seeing like I was busting out my inner Chris. I was reading the tea leaves.
I don't know.
And something it was just fishy. It was always fishy to me, man. And I'm a huge Gears fan. And I know you're even.
Yeah. No, I've marked my body with them. That's serious. Right there.
It's just the way you said that shit, man.
It's stained to me for life.
Oh wow!
Damn, Adam, man.
That's it. That's just how it works.
So if this game doesn't do it for you, man, you're gonna get a new tattoo. Just get that one, expunge it.
Because the first one still stands.
The memories are still there. You know.
Yeah, the memories are still there.
I was about to say.
It's not like if I was to, I don't know, get something and then it completely changes.
Yeah,
I was going to tell you, Adam. I can go with you to fucking Brett's house so we can get that tattoo.
Yeah, right. There we go. And he makes it into a happy face or something.
Hey, Brett can work miracles, sir.
Knows how to do.
Oh, he can make it into a pirate flag. He can put the flag around it, and it just looks like a pirate.
Don't mention pirates with Brett, man.
Don't tell Brett what to do, man.
He'll figure it out. Why don't mention pirates with me?
It was gonna be a low blow, but I don't want to do it anymore. I'll feel bad.
Don't do it. Don't
explain the joke.
Don't explain the joke, man.
There's got to be a reason. Somebody has to find out. There's got to be a reason for it.
Got to have some.
Are you?
Because think about it. The only other reason that whenever we see these dates get moved around is always because they're trying to get out of the way of someone else or for another big title.
This is fucking Gears, man.
But that's the same. This is Gears. They shouldn't have to move for anybody. And right now it looks like they're not. So it's either they're trying to get in front of something so that way they can control the narrative throughout the month.
Oh, control.
Or oh shit, this is it.
What happened?
I got it. It's it. Oh, I see it. I see it.
You found Waldo, man?
Sales must be slow. The physical sale, people going out to buy, pre-orders must be slow. So they're saying, you know what? We got all these people on Game Pass. Let them play it. Let them spread the word. Let them post the videos, the mixers, and all that jazz. And then hopefully within that time, it'll boost sales.
You bring up a good point, though. You bring up a good point, though.
And pay PewDiePie, or what's not PewDiePie?
Ninja.
And pay Ninja.
Ninja on the payroll.
Well, he's already on payroll, yep.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder what Ninja's gonna get up to during those times.
Ninja's probably gonna be playing some Gears of War. I can tell you that.
They're probably gonna do something, but that's the only thing I can think of. That they're like, you know what, sales aren't where we want for these pre-orders and stuff. It doesn't seem like there's enough hype for it. So how do we do that? Well, we got the people in Game Pass. They're already part of the service. All right, boost it up a little bit. Let them get some more time to play, stream, do other stuff, and hopefully that'll generate interest. And then, of course, now they got Ninja, and if he starts playing, which I'm sure he will, if he starts playing...
Microsoft's Studios office is going to be like, during the Gears launch, go Ninja, go Ninja, go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
And then Nickelodeon's going to hit him. No, we own that shit, suckers. We own...
So Adam, here's the ultimate question. Are you gonna play it day one?
Yes.
Are you gonna play it co-op with anybody?
I usually do, but if that person doesn't make it, do you want to play?
Yeah.
Okay.
So sounds like a date.
It sounds like a date. I'll be there at 5 a.m. I'll pick you up.
Here we go. Oh, wait. I've been playing something else.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Excuse me? What is this?
We'll talk about that now.
Can you
Oh,
see?
hold up! I gotta
Can
put
you
Adam on
see?
it. Got the
Can
got
you
the
see?
fight stick, man.
I got the fight stick thanks
Fight
to
stick?
Chris.
No.
Chris
Yo.
is retired from his pro days, and he was like, "Yo, this thing just brings back bad memories of when I used to give ass whoopings. Now I can't do it. I got this finger cramp." So I'm like, "Shit, really?" And he was like, "Yes." He was like, "If you want, I can send it to you." So he sent it to me. It's got some good mojo on it, and so I've been trying to do that because I'm trying to get into the pro fighting gaming circuit. I realized I saw booty ass when it comes to so I got very depressed for a few days. I told him, I'm like, "Yo, I'm sending this shit back. It's not working." And then he was like, "No, keep practicing." So that's what I've been doing. Actually been playing Ultra Street Fighter with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I do like playing Ultra Street Fighter with it. And yeah, that's it. Just trying to get a feel for it again. Even though, like, I don't know, it just feels different. I have my Street Fighter machine on there, and I can do all the same moves on it, just like on a controller. But for this one, I don't know. It's just different. I'm having issues.
Yeah.
And that's some professional fight sticks.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to take time. It's going to take time, but it does feel nice.
Yeah, it's like relearning how to play, basically.
Yeah. It is. So that's it. That's
All
what
right.
I've been playing.
To quote Ryu from Street Fighter 1, raw.
Raw. Oh, yeah, Chewbacca, that was beautiful, man. That was fantastic. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go. Yeah. What's up? Hello. Somebody said wait. What am I waiting for?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going. All right. So, what games have I been playing lately? I got a couple of them actually, and I mean a Tony couple, which is like four.
Did you ask me?
I'm gonna ask you next, bro. We're not done yet. Adam was the first guy.
I thought he was going last. My bad.
No.
Adam plays all the games.
Yeah.
So
Actually, you know what, Brett? Since you're talking, go ahead.
No. After you, sir.
All right. Okay, so I played. I'm just gonna go down the list here. I played Rad, which is the new game from Double Fine. Okay, I've always said this. I don't like roguelikes, but with every genre I don't like, I'm always willing to play a new game to see if I like it or not. This did not change my mind about roguelikes.
I was expecting it to go the other way around. Like, this one changed, but no.
No, this one did not. Did not. It's basically the whole premise is, like it's like the second apocalypse and the whole world's some fucking irradiated wasteland, and you go out there, you're whacking away at shit, you die, and you lose all your progress. You got to come back, do it all over and over and over again.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah, it's a roguelike. I'm like, I can't. Like, I played this shit for 2 hours. I didn't get anywhere. I'm like, this is stupid. So fuck that game. Don't like that. Then on the flip side, survival games. I don't like those either. I found one. I'm not gonna say because like is a very strong word here, but one I'll tolerate. It's called Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey, and I think the reason I kind of tolerate it is because it's historical. It's that place 10 million years ago. You're playing as like the super ultra mega ancestors of humans, and you got to like bring them up in through the world. So I got to forage for food, dodge fucking animals and all that. I didn't get to the end stage. This is the Lucy stage, which is like 5 million years ago. I didn't get that far, but it's kind of interesting. Like, you're trying to build a tribe, keep them together, pass on your genes. What's cool about this game is, like, how every game has a skill tree, right? In this one, the skill trees are neural links. Like, basically, like, if you go out there and you eat a bunch of fruits, like, you'll open up a new neural link. If you kill animals, you open up a new neural link, and you pass these traits onto your the babies that come next or whatever, and you just you keep getting better and better and better. So the premise is cool. Still some problems with it because it's an indie game. The controls are a little bit wonky sometimes. Sometimes there's glitches here or there, but
it's your boy, yo.
Yeah, Patrice Desolé, man. I like how he said that he wanted to keep his quote-unquote brand going by being the historical guy. But yeah, cool. I want to see what they do next, when you'll actually play as like more human ancestors, because these are just fucking monkeys, basically, Oh, excuse me, apes. Monkeys have tails. You know.
You get to be a little more human as the thing goes on.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you this right now, man. It is very
Are you
sad.
implying that humans that evolved from apes, Tony?
Brett,
Because you know that's just a theory.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna blow your mind away, man. We're still apes. Great, but we're great apes, though, man. Shout out to the gorillas and the chimpanzees and the orangutans, man. Familia, son. Okay, this other game I played is called Oninaki. It's made by Tokyo RPG Factory. They did Lost Fear and I Am Setsuna. Yes, Chewbacca. That's my feeling exactly.
Chewbacca loves I Am Setsuna.
Yeah. Okay, I did a preview of this game, and I liked the preview. I played for about an hour. I'm like, this game's kind of interesting. Like, it deals with these themes about life and death and reincarnation. I'm like, this is kind of cool. About 15 hours into it, I'm like, like the combat gets kind of really repetitive. The characters kind of fall flat, I'm not going to say don't get it if you're an RPG fan, but I would suggest wait for that price to drop, It basically, what's wrong with this game is it's not that it's a bad game. It's just it didn't fully utilize its premise, as well as it should have. Which is a little disappointing, All right, and then the last one, you guys, you guys want to hear Control, as Manny would say, and I'm going to use my own review here as a point of reference, man. But you guys already know about this game made by Remedy, same people that brought you Alan Wake and Quantum Break, and this one is more closer to. To Quantum Break than it is to Alan Wake, but it's the same kind of deal. Supernatural game, you're trying to figure out all this shit. And it's also a 3D Metroidvania game where it's basically like, you go through an area and you see some shit up there. It's like, well, how the fuck do I get up there? And, later on you get some powers. You go up there, because you learn to float. You learn to, like, control enemies. You got this crazy gun that takes on a bunch of different forms. And also what I like about it is, it's a single-player game that's like 10 hours long. It's beautiful. When I was done, I'm like, whoa, really? That's refreshing.
I have one question for you.
What's up?
Because I was looking this up. I was like, oh, what's up with this game?
Yeah.
Did you come across, and everyone keeps saying there was some serious slowdowns going on in this game?
Oh, but it's funny. I saw those complaints after I had already beaten it. The only time the game slowed down for me, and I was playing on a PS4 Pro and digitally in my hard drive, no external. The only time it slowed down for me was after I would unpause the game. That's the only time that would happen. Other than that, the game, to use your term, Adam, ran like butter. I had no problems, but I have seen those clips of people having these issues. But
that's the first thing, everybody likes to post the negatives first.
Of course. So I didn't notice that at all. Only when I unpaused the game, like when you unpause it, like for like 2 seconds, the shit fucking stutters, But other than that, it's pretty good. But what else can I? Actually, you guys should throw Control questions at me. But yeah, it's a good game.
Control punches at you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I say you could throw questions at me. That Control punches at me,
Punches.
Also, it has this really interesting art style. I learned about this during this interview I did with the voice actress, and Sam Lake too. It's called brutalist, right? I thought that was a metal subgenre. No, it's not. Yeah, like basically, and it's funny, now that I know what brutalist architecture, I'm like, oh shit, I see it everywhere. It's basically like buildings have these really sharp angles with all the concrete exposed, no covering or anything, and I think it lent itself really...
It's big in the 60s?
Yes. So, but yeah. Good?
Yeah, it's kind of what, like, Walt Disney and stuff like that, like a lot of that, his clean lined buildings, like white concrete and all that stuff. A lot of, like, it was built in that era.
Yes, like Chewbacca.
Buildings like that in the city where they're just kind of concrete masses.
Yeah, the whatchamacallit, what's a Flushing Meadow Park? Those saucers and shit. They have that too. Like the concrete's all exposed. But yeah, no, it's a really good game. You know, if you liked the other games, you know, you'll probably like them. But for me, it's like if you just want a really solid, no bullshit single player game, this is it, man. And there's still a lot of shit, and there's a lot of side stories, and they all connect to the main one. I really like the world they put in. Also, if you guys were gonna ask, no, this doesn't have live action cinemas like Quantum Break does, but it does throw little bits here and there. Like you'll actually see the real actress in there. You see some of the guys in like films and stuff, but they do it really well. And it's never like for too long, which is pretty cool. Man.
That one was Heavenly Sword, where that has like real actors in it.
Yeah. But the graphics are good enough so when they do their transitions, it's not jarring or anything, It's a really good game, man. And your boy's going to try to get that platinum,
Oh, shit.
Yeah. All right, cool, man. So I'm done. Brett, go ahead, bro.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yes.
I've been playing the shit out of Black Desert. Like, gaming that I'm used to. Rocking good 6-hour sessions on it before I realize what's up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it doesn't happen to me. I don't usually get to sit down and play for 6-8 hours. I'd be like, oh shit, it's at 5 a.m. I should really go to bed after this quest. What's that?
Starting.
Midnight 1-ish.
That is.
What?
Manny, you're cutting out again, man.
Witching hour.
That's witching hour. Yeah, Brett, that's pretty early for you, man, because like 5 a.m. is when you usually guys should go to bed, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, but it's usually like I'll play an hour or two of it. Yeah, I played some games like this one. I'm getting into like almost like old World of Warcraft style. Like, oh shit, man, I can't wait to get back and do this and this and this and this. And I'm excited about doing stuff when I'm not playing the game. Like, it bit me. It got me hard.
Oh, Brett.
Yes.
You just mentioned World of War. Are you playing that classic WoW?
Oh, we just had a whole segment on that, man.
Oh, you did? All right.
Yeah, nah, I got Black Desert. It's cool. I'm good. Well, I'm excited too because the end of the game essentially opens up. It's the perfectly built game for me because it's, you can kind of run around to your typical MMO stuff, and then at like level 50, I want to say, like it becomes PvP. But not like faction PvP, not like Horus Alliance, just like you see somebody on the road, you're like, hey, fuck that guy, and you can fight him, and you can murder him. So it gives you a sense of actual thrill when going out. Like, there could be a bandit, that bandit could be another player, and there's no fast travel in the game, which, I mean, isn't really a bad thing because you can jump on a horse and everything has an auto run button. So not only does it tell you exactly where to go on the minimap, it shows you on an overlay in the overworld, like a line on the ground that you just follow. And if you click the L3, the left stick, you'll just automatically run along that line to your destination point. So you'd be like, all right, I'm going to this other town. Like set the place on the navigation, set up auto run, and then go make yourself a sandwich. And you'll be, cool. Yeah, it is. But it does allow for a lot of interactivity between players, meaning that you see players moving back and forth. You see players moving wagons of goods back and forth. You see players interacting and running into each other in the real world, and sometimes getting into fights. And that excites me, and then that just kind of mechanic excites me for like, oh, cool. So like when we get like ships, right? They can go from like one town to like buy a bunch of goods and like ship it back to another town. Or I could wait at the harbor and pirate the fuck out of the motherfuckers who decide to do that. That's all. And as you all know, any game that I'm allowed to be a pirate in, I'm playing.
That's awesome.
I've even had games where like, well, I don't even mean like always like peg leg R kind of pirate like Space Engineers game where you can like build kind of these blocked kind of spaceships that you actually have to design the engines and everything works together and there's real damage. And you play in a server, and you can break those engines. And like, so let me get this straight. I can build a spaceship. Yeah. And I can like build engines, and I have to run fuel lines to those engines and everything like that. Yeah. Build this big thing. Yeah. I know. I get it. Build a spaceship. That is awesome. But what you're telling me is there's like working engine parts and fuel lines, and you actually have to design it. Yeah. Cool. So what you're saying is if I hit a right place on a ship, I can disable their engines, blow a hole in the side of their cargo hold, and then go in and steal all their supplies. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess if you want to, but you're misunderstanding the point. The point is about building ships and flying them around and having wars. I was like, no, motherfucker, you're misunderstanding. The point of this game is to be a fucking space pirate. So, like, any game that I can pirate or have fun pirating in any sort is awesome. And the fact that I can be a pirate in a world where other people aren't necessarily playing a pirate game makes me really happy. But yeah. Oh yeah, man, this game is made, it's a Korean-made game. Every class is a ninja. The sorceress feels like a ninja. It's just how it is. But no, I've been putting a fair amount of time into it, and I've probably sunk, Jesus, 50 hours into the game so far.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Did you know about the, like, are you just discovering Black Desert? This game's been out for a long time.
Yeah, it's on PC.
It's on console now?
Yeah, it just came out on PS4.
Oh, okay. That explains everything. Gotcha.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to say, like, it runs better on PC, and there's more content on PC, and all of these other reasons for playing on PC. And you actually,
settle down, Brian.
My biggest concern
I've
about
not said anything. I've been quiet this whole time. Like, I've been wanting to load over.
We can hear you. We can hear it.
Yeah, it's in the air, man.
Yeah,
I've been
and
wanting to like lord over the fact that, hey, look, it's another game that came out on PC first and then came to
dude, like 6 years ago. And it just shows you how far like PC is ahead of console.
Dude,
yeah.
I posted the trailer for this game back in STFU and Play.
That's right.
Yeah,
You did.
I remember.
Yeah, but I don't want to be. I don't want to go back to those Warcraft games or days where I'm hunched over my computer for 6 hours. I want to be splayed out across my couch watching my 75-inch 4K TV for 6 hours.
Oh, my TV's you, mate. Shout out to Brett's TV, man.
Yeah, for real, man. It's the MVP. You
That's
know?
the real homie right there.
All right, that explains. Like, I'm like, yo, that game's old as fuck. Why are you playing that? Oh, it's a console. Makes sense.
I mean, it is. The funny thing is, you say that and you'd be like, fuck, the PlayStation Pro can barely handle this game. It's not that the game is too old for consoles, it's that it's finally been optimized enough that consoles can handle it.
Man.
If you need some perspective as to how far behind consoles are, there you go. So, I mean, this is also fair enough. It's known as a card melting game.
Oh god.
So, like, I know a lot of people that say you have to have a high-end PC to be able to run it right. And then if you don't run it at like 120 frames per second, then you're losing out on your iframes. Like, man, they get seriously into this game. But it's what was I gonna say? Oh, the other thing is Brian. Here's the other thing. It's the type of game that you can't really cheat on. So I don't have a great reason for not playing it on PC, other than I didn't want to get into it on PC all those years ago. I didn't have a whole lot of people that played these kinds of games, and oddly enough, I'm playing absolutely alone because I'm pretty sure none of these motherfuckers are hardcore enough to play it.
This is true.
So, all of the reasons I didn't play it on PC are kind of negated, but I'm enjoying it on PS4.
Cool.
Right.
Mostly,
yeah.
Here's the great thing, and Brian will know what I'm talking about. Anytime a new game is released, like an MMO of any sort, there's always this first wave frenzy of people. Like, it's like a big fucking party. It's like goddamn Mardi Gras. Everybody's having a big old time, having fun, doing the same stuff, and then like a month and a half later, everybody gets super aggressive and starts murdering the shit out of each other. Like, everybody's friends for the first few weeks,
and then it is time to die.
Yeah, I mean, oh, Jesus, Dark Souls is the word. Like, anybody who's going into Dark Souls at this point now for the first time, I pray for you.
Pray.
Because you're just going to run a gauntlet of bored veteran players looking for fresh meat.
Come to dying.
All right, Brett, I'm guessing that's the only game you've been playing.
Welcome to
Yeah, it is. It's eating my life.
Face, what is it? Face biting. What was that term you used?
Face eating.
Face eating. There you go. Face eating. Yeah.
It's eating my face.
All right. And Brian, you haven't been able to play shit lately, right?
I have actually. I have a Switch, man.
Oh yes, I keep forgetting about that.
Yo,
That's
man,
right.
don't underestimate.
Excuse me.
It's good.
Yeah. All right. What you been playing
Find
on
a game
Switch?
to play. Like, if I have to, like, I will install Android on my Switch and do like the Steam Link thing.
Oh
like,
shit.
Yeah, I will go there. Breath of the Wild. Like, Brad saying that Black Desert has me eating his face. Breath of the Wild has me eating my face.
I mean, that game's okay.
Stupid fun. The game is stupid fun. Like, I understand what Brett means by, like, yeah, they designed this game to, like, not make you walk around, but they put enough things in there to, like, pique your interest as you walk past it. It's like, why is that rock so oddly shaped? Let me go check it out. So you check it out, and it's like, oh, okay. There's like a whole thing here. Like, what's at the top of that tree? I don't trust it. You go to the top of the tree, and it's like, oh, there's a shrine nearby. Okay, let me find the shrine. And then it's like, why is there this weird pond and then like these rocks just in a circle? Well, what's that about? And why is there this like random rock just by itself? Like, so many things just seem out of place, and then that's how it gets you. Like right now, I don't know what you guys have been up to. I know that Tony has finished it.
Yeah, I finished it.
I did the thing with the dragon on the ice mountain.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what
I'm
you're talking
still
about.
a bit
Yeah.
confused because I thought I finished it, but then now the asshole just keeps flying around and freezing me. So I think I'm missing something. And like right now, like as Brett was talking about Black Desert, I found the first fairy, and she is big. She is very big indeed.
Uh-oh.
That is putting it very, very nicely.
2019, man. I don't want to be cancelled.
She is,
You know.
She is robust.
She is. Yeah, she is a fairy. So yeah, I just found that, and I just found out that I can upgrade my stuff. So yeah, so I'm just going through and upgrading like all my things, and because of that, I have a habit of like killing everything that comes my way. I have tons of parts, so great.
All right. Anything else?
What do you mean anything else? This motherfucker's playing Breath of the Wild.
No, this is Brian, man. I got faith.
Starting from today after work, I'll be playing Astral Chain.
Ah,
I
yeah.
did want to play the Iceborne beta because they have like one going live soon, but without a wanted moment, I can't. So Astral Chain it is, and Breath of the Wild.
I forgot Astral Chain was coming out. Is it out yet?
Yeah, it's out, man.
It's out.
It's Friday. Yeah.
Shit!
Depending on the time, it's out. Yeah, it's out now.
Oh, I know my new Switch game. I got my sitting console game. I need my game that I can take with me, yo.
Yay. All right. Go ahead.
People to come in for their appointments.
Carlos, Manny, have you guys played anything? I'm gonna take that as a no.
Not even crickets.
Yeah, not even the Throwdown crickets.
At least I give you people crickets.
Yes. Well, at least in Manny's case, he's having technical difficulties. Carlos is muted because I think he's doing he's doing some football shit right now.
I'm talking right now, aren't
Oh,
I?
now you are. Now we are. Yeah. If you've been talking, we didn't hear nothing, man. Uh-oh. Okay. Manny's pointing now. Yeah, can't hear you, man.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Now we can. Now we can't again. All right, man. We're gonna wrap this up.
I'm playing a game.
What you playing?
Infinitely.
Oh.
Control on Friday. When I come back on the week, come back on Friday.
Wait, what are you playing? Damn these delays. Fucking technology.
Bloodstained.
There you go. Yeah, I gotta yell into the fucking mic. There you go.
Control.
You playing Control? Excuse me?
I'm gonna have Control playing. I'm gonna have Control. Yes.
Cool. All right, man. Before we wrap it up, a little bit of a show note here. So next week we're gonna have episode 250 of Throwdown. The only caveat is we're gonna do it a day early because Manny and I are going to a concert on Thursday. So on the 4th, episode 250 of Throwdown Questions, same night, same Sunday. You already know. And we're probably gonna have some guests on the Wednesday show. Probably Torrance. We have him back, and maybe a couple other people. Should be fun. Riku was gonna be around. Hey guys. We got Riku on it.
You need someone to talk anime to, man.
Yeah. So you'll get him. And I'll get one more. I think I have somebody in mind. We haven't had in a little bit, but who's a kind of.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. Unfortunately, we can only have 10 people on here, so it can only be 3 guests at most.
Yeah, but we always have someone that doesn't always misses the show.
Yeah. No, man, I'm gonna flog anybody who's not there that day, man. It's 250, man. Fuck. If Chris is sick, I'm pulling his ass in. Fuck that. You coming,
Where
man?
is Chris?
He's sick.
Oh.
Enfermo, man. All right. Anyway,
shout out to Chris, man.
Yeah, man, for real, man. All right, we're done. Thank you for
Riku
watching.
here?
We're gonna have Riku. We're gonna have Torrance,
Okay.
and yeah, man.
So then we're gonna have the nobody asked nigger in here.
Yeah. Brian, you're the only one who's allowed to say that word now, man, because of new YouTube.
Oh man, Big Boss did that roast though.
Oh, that was funny, man. Shout out to Big Boss, man. Riku, man. Yo, we'll talk about that afterwards, man. Anyway, thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight joined by Emilio Lopez. See you later, guys.
And don't forget to
Excellence
get
number
excellence.
4 is coming, dropping right now, dropping it like it's hot. Contra Road Chords coming. Oh man, that sucks.
Excellence is real. You can't rule for.
Oh man, Carlos Romero,
Hey, take care, everyone.
Adam Vale.
Check out my review of Man of Medan on the Coalition. Should be up by tomorrow morning. And fun, I couldn't believe I didn't see this before. In Japan, the Hobbs and Shaw movie is called Wild Speed Super Combo.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Brett Murdoch.
Doc.
It's been real, party people.
This is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, I'm in Black Desert. Who's coming with me?
Uh-oh, here's a challenge, people. And Brian Bunjoma.
It's freaking depressing times to know that people are trying to cancel a comedian for telling jokes.
It's 2019, baby. That's the way it works, man.
We don't like the funny.
You can't have offensive humor, Brian.
Like, wait, you mean comedy at a comedy show? What?
It's good.
Somebody,
It's only funny if you're laughing.
Actually, it's funny if you're not laughing. Man.
What if you get your feelings hurt?
Oh,
Exactly,
God.
there you go.
Heaven forbid, right? Anyway, guys, we'll see you on Sunday, man. Later.
Later, guys.
Deuces.
Peace.